Hey guys, I want to introduce you to the New York video that mainly demonstrates my handshake. It's the street hypnosis handshake girl takes clothes off. Takes off clothes. I really have a way of titling my videos, which is kind of funny. But maybe that's why I get so many hits. Or maybe it's just that people love the quality of my hypnosis, which they should do, because you'll struggle to find any other decent street hypnosis out there on the internet. Even today, which is crazy, when the amount of people who say they run street hypnosis courses is insane. Anyway, I don't know how much street hypnosis they do, but as you can see I do quite a lot. Now, let's just go through the video. So I'm just going to play it for the moment. I never do that many shout-outs, but I might just do some shout-outs. On this day, I was hypnotising with David Lyon, yeah, we hypnotised all day, and this is in the evening when, actually just in trance is just in the back of the video somewhere. Who else is there? Lots of new hypnotists just there. But they're all busy showing off and acting like they're doing the best thing ever. Like, I'm not referring to just in trance, I'm referring to the other guys, like the new guys. And it's like, I'm earlier in the day, it's just, I ran a course like a day earlier, so I had all this attention. And then right now, I was just standing there, and all these new students are like expecting me to watch and advise them, and I wasn't, too happy with the way they were doing hypnosis, because I felt that what they were doing wasn't street hypnosis. So, because they did these long, laborious routines, and they did hypnosis in a way that was very formal, and I don't think that the people you meet in this kind of environment are going to be very responsive to you, and you'll end up losing a lot of subjects that way. So I really just decided to just do my own thing and just shoot a video that I knew I wanted to get on film, in spite of everyone not watching someone who was supposed to be teaching them hypnosis. People are ridiculous. They expect things, but then they don't listen. Here I am. I'll give you another example. I'm talking to this girl, I've just met her, and if you watch the kind of audience in the background, they will be great, like, for a split second, and then they'll lose interest straight away because nothing's happened. But it's like, nothing's happened in 3 seconds. The people you work with in these kind of environments have a really short attention span. And that's why you can't just expect them to just stand there while you hypnotise them and take 10 minutes over your induction, or just go sleep and expect them to be asleep when you've just said a word. The word doesn't do anything. You need to properly hypnotise, like the stuff that I'm teaching you throughout this guide. So let's just talk about my handshake induction and why it's the best out there. And really, you're getting it all for free, which is ridiculous. I know you've paid a price, but you're getting the handshake as part of that price. And originally I was going to sell the handshake, as a single product where you would only get the handshake because it's the best handshake out there. In fact, I still might do that because it's the right thing to do. It's the best, and you would happily pay money for someone else's so hypnotist pack, or blah blah blah, you can do this, be a hypnotist pack, when all they've done is copied everyone else, ripped all the information off, and acted like they've invented something new. Look, I've got to do something to beat these guys, and because I can't just get screwed over every freaking day of my life, I need to make sure that I actually sell things of value. And I just don't like the whole idea that these guys are selling stuff on the internet and they've never even done street hypnosis. Like, a lot of these guys are just geeks, actually, like really geeky people who can't even dream of talking to a stranger and actually have to write like books in it to act like they would. Just go out there and talk to people. Oh yeah, so that's a good idea. So people always say, oh yeah, Vince, you really just get into the approach, don't you? You really just, people say to me, oh Vince, you must have really big balls, like you just go out there and do it. You must be joking. I'm the most scaredest person in the world. Like, sure, I talk to everyone, but that's because that's easy compared to most of the challenges in life. Like, listen, life only gives you this tiny 1 inch of opportunity. I don't take all those opportunities. What I do though, is I talk to strangers because I always think there's something worthwhile to come of it. You know, you never know what you're going to get when you meet someone. You don't know what's behind that person. And that's one thing that I've always gone out there to do. You know, since I was very young, I thought, damn it, I'm just going to meet everyone because that's the way I stand the best chance at doing well. But the truth is, you also have to be selfish in life if you want to succeed. And I meet people purely because I think it's nice to meet people. I think it's purely because I care about people. And I think I've got something really important to say about hypnosis. And I don't mind going around the world and hypnotising everyone I meet and showing them what hypnosis is for free, you know? And that's exactly what I'm doing here. Now, sure, I get a great hypnotic result, but I think it's my attitude and character that makes the result happen. You see, suppose I was a guy, right, who was trying on with this girl, then this routine isn't going to work, because she would think that I was trying it on. That'd become the game, the context, like... So, let me just talk about a story. So, I used to have a girlfriend who used to always say to me, what did she say? She always said, Vince, I think people only get hypnotised by you because you're good looking. So the girls want to be with you and the guys just think you're really interesting because you're interesting. And I took offence when she said that. I felt like the only reason she was saying that was to say, Vince, people just act when they're hypnotised. They're not really hypnotised. It's just that they're playing along with you because you're good looking. And that's not true. Because the fact is, I used to go out and I used to hypnotise. I used to dress down when I hypnotised. I didn't want to stand out too much. So when she said that, I was a bit like, well, there's a bit of logic in what she's saying, because I actually thought about my appearance when I went out to hypnotise. I actually dressed down. I tried not to be amazingly good looking because I felt like that really affected the hypnosis results. So I really started spending about 6 months thinking about what she had said there. Because she knew me really well, and she had seen me hypnotise loads of people, so I felt, well, she must know what she's talking about, which I wouldn't usually assume in anyone, because frankly they don't. But so I started, so I decided that I would, like, it always grated on me that I had to dress down to hypnotise people. Like, I'm on about in like 2006, like years and years ago. And then I went for a stage where I really dressed down for about a year or two. And then I was just not happy with the way my appearance was. But my hypnosis results were awesome. And I think it's because when I approached a group, they didn't feel threatened. They didn't think, oh, he's trying to nick our girls and he's trying to say he's better than us. They just thought, oh, this guy is what he says he is. They didn't even think about competing with me. They just felt like doing the thing I say, because that was the game put in front of them. Whereas if I went up to them and I was dressed really smart, really, like, on my top form, like looks-wise and blah blah blah, they would almost say, whoa, you can't come in here, you're too good, you're not allowed, you know. I know what you're up to. Or, you know, I could try and hypnotise a girl, and she's too busy trying to get with me, and not busy listening to the things I say. So I can't, you know, have her responsiveness in the way that I want it. And the guys just compete against me, all want to, go drinking with me and not listen to what I have to say about hypnosis, about life, about a magic trick or whatever. Now, let's just talk about. So I've been out and I've made money doing what? Hypnotising people in the street. Now I don't always, I don't usually hypnotise people in the street for money, but sometimes if there's a large enough population of traffic where people are like regularly in the street walking about and they've got nothing in particular to do other than drink, then it's a really good opportunity for me to hypnotise people. So what I do there is I'll pick a group of like 3 or 4 guys who are less cool than me. By the way, I'm just saying that I actually ended up working out the problem that my previous girlfriend said about people just play up to you because you're good looking versus the fact that I used to dress down. I actually spent some time thinking about it and actually came to some solutions. Oh yeah, the solution is what I've pretty much just said, and that's people play whatever game is in front of them. Like, it's almost like they just focus on whatever it is easy to focus on, and whatever feels like the elephant in the room, the environment. The environment creates the response. If the game's drinking, then everyone just drinks as much as they can. If the game's chatting up a girl, then that's all the people do. They play that game. I just want to show you something actually. Before we go on to this video, I want to show you this video. Do you remember the film A Beautiful Mind and the bar scene? So in the bar scene, what happens is this. So loads of girls walk into a bar, but one of them is severely stunning. So here the guys have gone over and they've sat down with Nash. There's one girl who's clearly more good looking than the rest.
Slow motion. Does she want a large wedding, you think?
Should we say swords, gentlemen? Pistols at dawn.
Have you remembered nothing? Recall the lessons of Adam Smith, father of modern economics.
In competition, individual ambition serves the common good.
Exactly.
Every man for himself, gentlemen.
Those who strike out are stuck with their friends. I'm not going to strike out.
You can lead a blonde to water, but you can't make a drink.
You're talking about economics.
Nobody move. She's looking over here. She's looking at Nash.
Alright, he may have the upper hand now. We'll wait until he opens his mouth.
So one guy's saying, by us all being selfish, it means that, right, let me explain. People believe that by everyone being selfish, means that efficiency is found. So if I went out and, quoting a book here, if I went out and I made, I got a piece of wood that's really expensive, like mahogany, and I carved like an otter statue out of the mahogany. Now, what might happen is, I decide to price that otter statue at £1,000. The problem is, the market might go to me, oh, the otter statue, I don't really like it, it's not worth £1,000. But it's cost me, £500 to produce the otter statue. So what happens is, someone might say, oh, I'll give you 500 for it. Because they feel like that's what the price of the otter's worth. So people take this this otter away from me, and then I get my £500 back, but I've wasted all this time and effort and, sourcing the wood, carving it to produce the otter, and what's happened is that I've actually lost all that because the otter's only really worth £500 in that format. What everyone competing and everyone being selfish, why people think that's really good is because it finds efficiencies in the market, where if I made an otter out of the wood, I probably wouldn't try and make another otter because it didn't really work out for me. I'd probably try and make something else out of the wood. Now suppose I made an eagle and that did sell for £1,000, the eagle out of the mahogany. Well, then what has happened is, because of the market efficiency, because the person who bought it from me was selfish, was trying to get a good deal, and because I was selfish, trying to make money, then what happened is, the otter didn't sell, I tried something else, the valuable mahogany probably got turned back from the otter back into made into something more profitable, and the eagle ended up making me money that makes me produce more eagles. And therefore, by everyone being selfish in the world, everyone gets what they want. He gets a good deal on his eagle, I get a good deal on making them, and the otter gets turned into something else that becomes profitable, for someone else. That's what these guys are saying. They're saying if we all compete for ourselves, then we all win. But it's like, Nash is there thinking, no we won't, there's only one hot girl, she's only going to get with one of us. If we all compete, then we're all competing against each other. It makes us like 5 times less valuable if there's 5 of us. All that happens is she gets with none of us. So it's best if we just remove the blonde from the equation, because she skews the entire game. Then the new game would win at that. And this is exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying if there's any kind of game where there's a clear peak, a clear winner's spot, then that's completely distracting to me performing hypnosis. No one might know they're playing a game, but they are. So I won't go into any group who's too cool. I don't know. There's ways to think about it. I've got more complicated ways of viewing it than just this model, but this is the model I follow. I just have different versions of it. This is just the general scope. I won't approach a group who's too cool. I won't approach a group that's mixed, i.e. guys and girls. This is if I'm trying to make money off hypnosis. I won't approach a group who is... I'll generally avoid groups of girls, because what happens is one girl thinks I'm trying to get with her, the fit one, or then what happens is the other ones, whatevs. So the best thing for me to do with that kind of group is to immediately go into the group, address the fit one, talk to another girl, then hypnotise the ugly one. Because the ugly one's frankly going to listen and isn't thinking about trying to pull me, isn't thinking about, whether I'm trying to get with her. All she's thinking about is, this lack of game going on and how she wants something to happen. So I just put a new game that she can win in front of her, and that game is getting hypnotised. With the group of geeky guys that I go and do magic on, who are less cool than me, the reason I choose 3 or 4 guys is any more than that, it's too much competition, there's too much da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da going on. I don't want any of that. I want them to listen to me. And I tend to pick groups of guys who lack a leader. So I look at that group, I think, there's no leader in this group, there's no clear guy on top. So I think, I'm a leader, they lack a leader, supply and demand, they've got the demand, I've got the supply, I'm going to go in there and give them exactly what they need, and they're going to pay me for it. So that is how I've slowly learnt that. So when I was in university, this is where my first book that I've been writing for 3 years has come from, is that I realised that I don't believe in psychology, that I only believe in economics, that I believe that math explains hypnosis, that explains human behaviour way better than any psychology case study, and that people have already tried to do this and already done really well explaining people using math, and it makes psychology a little bit pointless. But I'm not a mathematician, and the studies they do are usually about huge populations of society. They work out what's going to happen if, say, the pound goes up and the dollar goes down, or what happens if more jobs are created in this sector. They do studies on that and predictions, and the price of gold goes up or whatever. And these predictions are done every day on the stock market, every second. So the math is there, where people are always trying to work out the optimal solution for predicting the future. And there's plenty of people who believe the market is always right. Now, you'll find people who say the market's wrong, but arguably the only reason the market's wrong is because people who are making the market are superstitious, stupid, blah blah blah. If people were perfect, which the argument is with enough people, law of averages, like wisdom of crowds, means that the market is perfect, because a huge number of people are feeding information, all different kinds of information, into the market. Then you get a wisdom of crowds, like a perfect average of those answers. It tends to be the right one. The problem is, in reality, that the market, the people who play the market, don't all have different pieces of information, like a huge plethora, a huge lots of pieces of information from different sources about the stuff they're betting on. They tend to instead get all their sources from all their information from the same sources, and therefore any difference in the pricing is just down to superstition, guesswork, stupidity, and that's why the market's inaccurate. I'm willing to go for that explanation. The truth is, economics is complicated, but it's never been applied to this kind of scenario where you're just doing magic or doing hypnosis and trying to explain exactly what's occurring. That's why I've spent 3 years writing a book and referencing it and going into huge amounts of detail for lots of different things about it. But I'm just briefly trying to explain here why, when you do hypnosis, there's a lot of things to think about. So now, I don't dress down anymore when I go out and do hypnosis. In fact, I dress just slightly better than my audience. Now, and I worked out something. The more higher value you are, like the more you become more perfect, like more valuable, the more you can kill it you need to counteract it by being charming. The more charming and professional you are, and nice to people you are, and human you are, the less it matters that you're going up in that respect. So I can dress well, I can look good, I can be intelligent, I can have an ego. It's okay if I do all those things, providing I'm kind, I'm human, I'm honest, I listen to people, I'm charming, I'm professional, well spoken. Then it doesn't matter if I'm selfish, da 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 da. I just need to balance it out. The more I balance it out, the more it allows me to be manipulative in my interactions. Because I need to think like that. The way I see it, and it's mentioned in the book that you get with this e-pack, is that whenever I go into a group, I only go into groups where I'm needed. Now this is when I always say to students, I say, don't push hypnosis. Hypnosis doesn't even exist anyway, but don't push yourself. Pull them. Only go into groups where you are adding something. Only go into places where you're adding something. Now, I'm not saying don't make sure you add things to situations. I want you to add things. I want you to do everything you can to be that. But I'm just saying, if you're not that, don't do it. Don't go in there and compete with people at the game they set, because you'll lose. Only play games you're going to win. It's like, you wouldn't, I don't know, you wouldn't purposely play a bad hand of poker and, you know, expect to win out of it. But then, of course, people do stupid things, and there's plenty of people who do play bad hands at poker because they think, oh, I'll go for it. It's like, no, going for it's never really ever going to work, is it? Like, the probability of you winning on that is so small compared to the chances that other people have better cards than you. You need to expect to lose and not play games that you're certain to lose. Like, let's just watch the rest of this clip and then we'll go back to the handshake.
Adam Smith needs revision. What are you talking about? If we don't go for the blonde. We block each other. Not a single one of us is going to get her. So then we go for her friends. But they will all give us the cold shoulder because nobody likes to be second choice. What if no one goes for the blonde? We don't get in each other's way. And we don't insult the other girls. It's the only way we win.
Anyway, I'll pause it there because I think there's some kind of law about copyright if you play a video too long. But anyway, I think because I'm talking over it doesn't count. So, let's just go back to the handshake. So, look, clearly I know when I hypnotise this girl, she looks like she's not thinking about anything. She doesn't look like, she looks open-minded. She doesn't look like she cares too much, but at the same time she's listening to what I'm saying. So it's good. We need more videos of people failing to hypnotise people. That sounds good. But anyway, I'm going to get her to squeeze my hand now, using my handshake. So, I just have to shake my hand. Hold on to my hand, squeeze it really, really hard. Really, really hard. Now just, so I'm telling her an instruction to squeeze my hand. I'm saying, please squeeze my hand. I'm asking her to do that. I'm not assuming she's going to do it. I'm literally saying you are going to do it.
Just keep on squeezing my hand, keep on squeezing my hand. You don't need...
Now I'm saying keep on squeezing my hand, keep on squeezing my hand. So I'm beginning to imply that you know, whatever you do, just keep on squeezing my hand. Whatever you do, just keep on squeezing my hand.
Just tense up the muscles, just grasp. They call it subclassical. All they can do is tense.
The muscles. Now this is where I go for it being stuck. The muscles just keep on, but I don't tell her it's stuck. The muscles just keep on grasping. They keep on clasping. Whatever they do, they just get more and more tense and more and more stuck. I mean, I don't say stuck, more and more tense. So she doesn't know I'm making a hand stick to my hand yet, but I've told her, first squeeze your hand, then it gets more and more tense, and now it's getting more and more tense, and I'm probably about to say, and that's all it can do, it just keeps on doing that.
So by themselves, are you holding on to...
It keeps on tensing all by itself.
Wait, my phone, you're holding it, you're scared to...
I don't know, but this metaphor's saying, like when you're holding onto your mobile phone, and you keep on crushing it because you're holding it so tightly you don't want to drop it, but it ends up you hold it so tightly you end up breaking your mobile phone because you're squeezing it so tightly now. So I'm saying there's plenty of times in your life where you have squeezed something too tightly and you can't let go, and this is one of those times. It's like I'm saying there's ideas in the back of your head, and those ideas can squeeze your hand. Now as they squeeze that hand, now as your ideas squeeze that hand, now you've commanded your hand to squeeze, sure, but sometimes you command your hand to squeeze, like to not drop your mobile phone. What happens is you end up squeezing so hard and not noticing you're crushing your mobile phone because it's like you've issued that command to squeeze and then it's kept on squeezing, and that's what's happening now. It just keeps on squeezing. I'm trying to make her believe that I'm doing this in a very, look, in order to show you what I'm doing, I have to show you how it could be done wrong. Okay? Suppose I go up to someone and say, your hand's stuck to my hand. And they go, no. Or they might not say anything. I go, squeeze my hand, the hand's stuck to my hand. It's like it's like super glue is setting into my hand now, as if there's super glue between our two hands, and that super glue is melting, getting warm, 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 until it feels so warm in fact that now it's going cold, 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 cold. Now his hands are stuck together. The person's just, unless they're an amazing subject, that's going to go, no, they're not stuck. I'm not doing that. And with the metaphor of making someone imagine there's glue in their hands, they might not fully engage with it. They might not really understand the meaning of the super glue in the hands. I know she really understands what I'm saying, because I say squeeze my hand, I feel her hand squeeze. There's no guesswork. I'm not guessing she's hypnotised. I know she's responding to the things I say. I've said squeeze my hand, I can feel her squeeze my hand. If I said there's super glue on my hand, your hand's sticking in my hand, I have no way of knowing that's working. So I'm just making myself look stupid if it goes wrong, where here, I know exactly what's going wrong. So if you want to go and learn hypnosis of someone who teaches you that kind of nonsense, then go do it. But so people say to me, they say, Vince, you take so many risks, like, how do you always know they're going to come off? I'm always seeing you hypnotise people, Vince, you seem to try and hypnotise everyone. How do you have the confidence to do that when it might not work? It's like, I can feel her hand is stuck to my hand. There's no me not knowing this is going to work. Her hand is stuck. That is enough information to know the next thing I say is going to work. I'm not guessing. If I was doing someone else's hypnosis, I'd be freaking guessing. If I learned someone else's hypnosis course, I'd be guessing. I never take risks, because I only play games that I'm bound to win.
Drop it, so you squeeze so hard you're under pressure against. But I just keep on squeezing it when I go, and this is really intense, right? So tense until you realise the hand's stuck to my hand completely now.
Your hand's so tense, and I feel like a hand is tense, then I say, because your hand's so tense, so that keeps on squeezing my hand, that keeps on squeezing, like it keeps on squeezing, it can't let go, it keeps on squeezing, it can't let go. The hand just squeezes all by itself. It's like, and I'm probably about to say, it's like whatever you try and do, it will always just squeeze tighter now. So, I'm almost saying, every time you try and think if it's stuck or not, I command you to squeeze tighter, but then as you squeeze tighter, it's going to feel like it keeps on squeezing by itself. So I'm trying to make it unclear. I'm trying to rehearse the person that every time they check where the hand's stuck to squeeze, as a command, but then I'm trying to rehearse it so well that it just squeezes by itself every single time they go to check whether it's stuck, and then
Please stop, man. It just won't let go, and you don't know why the hand's stuck to my hand all by itself, yeah? It's completely stuck, and you're going to realise the hand's completely stuck to my hand, and as you realise the
so the hand's completely stuck. She nods her head. To me it looks really, really stuck. I can feel it stuck. The hand's just completely stuck. I'm convinced by what her response is, so I've just said, I'm just like, right, I'm happy that she is actually genuinely stuck, so I'm going to move on now, and I'm going to go for the next routine. Now what I should really do here is tell her, and that's weird, right? You have no idea why that happened, that's just weird. But actually, she's almost too responsive. She's nodded her head, and she's looking at her hand, and to me it feels kind of stuck. At no point did I feel her hand relax at all, so I'm convinced she's completely responded to exactly what I said. Otherwise I'd work harder. Now, I wanted to mention the audience. This entire time I was saying that these guys, originally they're watching, I think they're friends of the girl or whatever. And how long have they watched during this entire time? They've watched for like 1 second. You know, it just shows how useless people are. Because people, now go back to the economics again. People only pay attention to things that are moving, things that are bright coloured, things that are flashy. Like, people always need their attention to go, whoo. Now that's what I do to my subjects. I always go, da 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 da, attention, attention, attention. You're paying attention, woo, attention, attention. The fact is, most people only pay attention because what they're engaging with is valuable to them, more valuable than what they've currently got or could easily acquire. When my girlfriend said, Vince, people only talk to you because you're interesting, people only get hypnotised by you because you're interesting, she was right. They do, as long as there's no other game, and that's the key crux. That's why when I go up to someone, suppose I do go up and hypnotise the guy who's a freaking leader knobhead, yeah? I can still hypnotise him because I know what he's doing, and because I know he's doing this, I know to get rid of those misconceptions before I proceed to hypnotise him. Because I know what the fit girl's thinking, or because I know when a girl fancies me, boom, I'm not going to allow her to play that game unless she plays this game. I want to play this game. I don't even let that game come up. The game is this. The game is, I speak, you listen like that. The game is, you feel emotional right now and you concentrate on the things I say, and it's as if you're so focused on the things I say you can't stop focusing on them. That's still just the same three things. And I'm going to announce some metaphors about times in your life where X happened. Now, as you think about those metaphors where X happened, in a moment you're going to start to realise that when I ask you a question, it's like those things have already happened, haven't they? And so you have those ideas in your head right now, don't you? And you bring that all to your awareness, and right now you feel hypnotised. I mean, not hypnotised. Right now you feel X. Which is my general structure. So I make someone emotional, I make someone concentrate. I only these are the pre-things. I only hypnotise people who, or work with people who I know are going to work well with me. If they're not going to work well with me, I'm going to make sure they understand what misconceptions they have and that they're wrong about the things they think. But I won't get in an argument about it. I'll just move, I'll just show them why they're wrong rather than tell them why they're wrong. I'll just go for it. Another reason why someone might not get hypnotised, they've never been hypnotised before and they don't have responsiveness. So I have to make sure they feel responsive. And these are the pre-things I do. And then the things that I need to do now is emotional, concentrate, never reveal the phenomena where I'm going, just bring up the ideas before, home the ideas with a question, and if I'm hypnotising someone formally, make them feel like they have no control as it happens all by itself. So when you borrow something from someone, you really want to give it back. I'm pointing at her jacket already, but I'm not pointing at her jacket like this. So if I point at a jacket like this, you'll know that I'm pointing at a jacket. I'm just saying, when you borrow something from someone, I'm saying jacket, jacket, jacket. But when you borrow, but I really wanted to listen to the story before I get any ideas about me taking a jacket in her head. She probably really likes that jacket, by the looks of her. She probably really likes that jacket.
And in a moment I will tap something on you, you can easily recognise the thing that I tapped.
In a moment I tap something on you. Now I'm not saying I'm going to take your jacket, I'm saying I'm going to tap something on you, because I don't want her to know that I'm going to take her jacket, because I don't want her to resist that. I don't want her to think, oh, he's going to take my jacket, but I don't want to give it him. Or this is my jacket, I want her to think, oh yeah, when you borrow something from someone and you want to give it back, it's me just telling a story, and if I was to tap something, you'd probably believe that thing belonged to me.
Belongs to me, and you want to hand it back to me, you just borrow it for a short while because you're cold, and you're going to hand me back my jacket. That has been used in my hand, yeah?
Only now I've mentioned jacket.
The jacket belongs to me, and you want to give it back to me, and you say thank you for lending it. Hey, is it okay to have my jacket back for a moment? Sorry about that. I know, you're warm now, yeah? Really warm. Oh, no problem. I love this jacket.
She did exactly what I said. So, I said you would say, thank you for lending it to me. And I said this, so when I hypnotised her, I said lots of different suggestions just then about the jacket. I said, you're going to want to give me my jacket back. The moment I tap an object, you believe that belongs to me. And you're going to say, thank you for lending me it. So I've given her the want, the emotion. I've given her the thing I tap, you believe you borrowed, so it's a belief. I told her a story about wanting to give things back, and then I put the exact words and frame in her mouth where she would say, thank you for lending me it. So then she can contextualise the entire experience under that frame. where because she said thank you for lending me it, it kind of self-convinces herself. But I've just put those words in her mouth, so she says thank you for lending me it. But now she said those words, now she believed that I did lend her it because she's the one who said it.
Okay, it's my sister's actually. You're not hypnotised or anything strange, right?
Right, so I'm saying you're not hypnotised or anything strange, right? So I'm trying to hypnotise her to not believe in hypnosis, to not believe she's hypnotised. So then if I wanted, I could run off with the jacket. Like, I could just walk away with the jacket. But I could do that. But when I said, you're not hypnotised or anything strange, she nodded her head. She nodded her head because she, I guess, felt like I was expecting agreement out of her. I didn't expect agreement, like, on that question. She probably just didn't understand the wording of the question. I said, you're not hypnotised or anything strange, right? Like, I'm supposed to be hypnotising her so she doesn't know she's hypnotised, right? Let me explain the benefits of hypnotising someone and having them not know they're hypnotised. Suppose I hypnotise you to believe you're Michael Jackson, and you're in a stage show of mine, you're on stage, and I say, so Michael, are you going to sing for us tonight? But the thing is, you know I'm a hypnotist, you know you're on stage, and you also believe you're Michael Jackson, but you can see your friends in the audience, and you believe I'm a hypnotist, and you also believe you're hypnotised. So even though you know you're Michael Jackson, you also know you're hypnotised. So when I ask you a question like, hey Michael, you're going to sing for us tonight, the person's thinking, I can sing for you, but I'm hypnotised. And I am Michael Jackson, but I'm hypnotised. They are the two conflicting beliefs. If I walked away with her jacket and she thought that she was hypnotised, and she thought that I was a hypnotist, then what would happen is she feels like I've tricked her. But if she instead believed that she was awake and that the jacket just belonged to me, then she would just give me the jacket like, hey, I'm awake, I'm fine. Oh, this is your jacket. There you go. And I just walk away with the jacket because it was my jacket. So I'm trying to hypnotise her to believe that she's not hypnotised. But in this case, even though I probably could have walked away anyway, because I've got all the results I want, she responded in quite an hilarious way.
That's good. That's good. Okay. Just close your eyes and sleep. And go deeply relaxed all the way down, deep sleep, deep sleep. And of course you can have your jacket back. This day, you're incredibly lovely.
Just notice I always make people close their eyes. Because I don't believe in the power of saying sleep or an instant induction. I think they're all nonsense. Created by people who just copy and paste hypnosis notes off the internet and put them in a product and call it hypnosis training. Please, guys, don't buy anything off these people. Don't ever allow your friends to buy off those people. They're con artists. This guy here, Vince Lynch, he looks good. He's good. This guy's not so much. So what am I saying is, to close your eyes and sleep. Now, I don't believe that really works. So I'm going to start talking now, regardless of that working. So I've said close your eyes, that's a command, right? There's no chance of that not working. If I say to you, close your eyes, and you say, it didn't work, it's like, are you stupid? You listening to me and you closing your eyes isn't about working, it's about you closing your frickin' eyes. I don't rely on them not closing their eyes because they think that I'm hypnotising them to close their eyes. I just say close your eyes, because I don't see the difference. Now I say sleep.
And for whatever reason, all the opportunities in your life come to you. 1, 2, wide awake, and you can have your back in jack.
Just tell her that she's going to be really happy, everything in life's going to go really well. I don't put too much on it. Like, I'm just trying to make her feel really good. Open your eyes. You know, I don't believe I'm waking her up. She was never really asleep. I'm just saying, you know, you feel good, you can have a good life, good opportunities. My friends are laughing at me because they thought it was cool. But I just went up to the girl and did that. So yeah, that's the end of that video, and let's go through and talk about some more videos. I hope you're enjoying the course. This is the 5th video into the course. There's lots of hours of footage explaining and detail there, and it's all about the things that I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to teach you necessarily about what's in the video. I'm trying to teach you about all the things I think about hypnosis, and that is how you'll get the same results that I've been getting. Alright guys, thank you. Enjoy the next video that's coming up. Have a good day.